All right, welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardin Ellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everybody.
And we're actually going to get to our our voicemails now. As you guys know, we recently got the new number 1-833-PSP radio, so you guys could call in, ask us your questions, and hopefully we could do live streams with call-ins. But for now, we're actually going to go after the first couple of voicemails that we got. Thank you for everybody that called in. First, I believe we've got a voicemail from the 904, correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right, let's hit it. 904.
Hey guys, I'm Campson from Florida. I'm a huge 15-year-old supporter of you guys and Yang. And I was wondering what to tell people that say Yang will never win, or how to combat it, like my parents. Thanks.
Oh! Hey, we got a 15-year-old supporter from of Andrew Yang who's fighting the good fight. We got to get him on. We got to get him to call in during our chat sometime because I'm curious. It's interesting. I know what you're talking about when you first talk to your parents. I'd like to know a little bit more. Is it because they're really conservative and they just kind of generally knee-jerk react to the idea of UBI being a handout without understanding it's paid for by the VAT? Cody, what would you say? How does somebody respond to that? I got some ideas, but I want to hear from you. What do you think?
Well, when it comes down to just in general the concept of can Andrew Yang win, it is, I'm not gonna lie, it is one of the difficult things to say because the bottom line is, for the most part, how can you explain how anyone can win for the most part? It'd be tough to explain how Joe Biden, who has just up until recently been number one in the polls, I couldn't explain to you how we can win, right? However, one of the reasons why I think Andrew Yang actually has a chance of winning this year, and I say it all the time, is generally speaking, what an outsider candidate like Andrew Yang is going to run up against is kind of an establishment party that's kind of been gaming and getting ready for this election for a few years. We don't have that in 2020. We have a wide open primary field for the Democrats. The leadership is shaky at best, unfortunately for the Democrats. So it actually is wide open for someone like Andrew Yang to come in. Now, also, you look at the top three frontrunners where a lot of the polling data is going to right now. Most people are, hold on, I believe this, and I think I have to assume others believe this as well, that just for health reasons, Biden and Sanders probably aren't going to go the full distance. Warren's going to be the front runner, but then there's a lot of that electoral pie for Democrats to go right now. All right, it feels like it's kind of tied up in these three people, but I don't see Sanders or Biden really going forever. So I think one of the people in the best position to step up is Andrew Yang. And again, normally where you'd hit these roadblocks from the party, I feel like he's not going to run into those same roadblocks just because the party's kind of in disarray right now, and that helps an outsider candidate like him kind of sneak in and win the primary. So I think he's kind of uniquely poised to actually win this year because once he gets to the general, I think it's going to be very close no matter what. I think Trump might eke out a win over anyone, but I think it'll be closer than people think just because it's a crazy season. But I think he's actually in a really weird, unique position where someone like Andrew Yang can win the presidency, where normally you would it gets to the point where you get stonewalled by the party. I mean, there's no Hillary Clinton this year. There's nope, hold on, everybody. It's this person's turn to run. And Bernie tried breaking that door in last year, and it didn't work. Remember, they let Hillary Clinton's campaign run the finances for the party, essentially, because they're like, whatever, she's the one. There is no candidate like that in 2020, and that leaves the door open for Andrew Yang in a really unique way. It's my opinion.
Yeah, and I'll actually mirror that, and I'll say, if my mom or my dad asked me, well, how is Andrew Yang going to win? I'd say, Mom, Dad, how does anybody win? How does anybody win? By working hard, having a good message, getting the word out. This is super early. It's impossible to tell. I mean, Hillary Clinton got in a lot of trouble for referencing the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy, but when people asked, like, this early in the campaign, how can you say how well you're going to do? And, she said, well, and she named a bunch of just crazy things that had happened that had turned the tide of presidential elections literally just within her lifetime. And one of them was something as crazy as assassination. All right. So let's just look historically. Where were some of our winner presidential candidates? Let me tell you, at this point in Barack Obama's candidacy, okay, barely anybody in the United States knew who he was. Only political insiders knew that he was the second African-American to serve in the Senate. You know what I'm saying? And only people that like completely follow politics really knew who he was. Some, pseudo insiders said, oh yeah, he was that charismatic guy that gave the talk at the DNC or gave that really good speech at the DNC. But outside of that DNC speech, nobody knew who Barack Obama was. And look at the landslide. Well, not landslide, but look at the victory Barack Obama had. Okay. And he was almost completely unknown. Look at historically election of Abraham Lincoln. Look at the hard work that JFK had to put in introducing himself to the public before the Kennedys were the Kennedys. So this early on, how is he going to win? Well, the same way that tons of people that started out as underdogs won, by doing what he's doing. And we've got some really good measurable quantifiers that show that he is continuing to rise in the polls, unlike traditional third-party candidates that flatline from the very beginning. I mean, your libertarian will start out with 1% and he'll end with 1%. He doesn't start out with less than 1% and then end up with 8% in less than 6 months like Andrew Yang has. So you got to look at momentum. Elections are all about momentum and timing. And when it comes to momentum, Andrew Yang has it in full. So that's what you could say to your mom and dad or anybody else. And thanks for calling, man. From where was that again, Cody? The 513, I believe it was.
Believe so. There we go.
Where did he say it
No,
was from?
904.
Oh, no, it was the 513.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was the 904. Where's 904 from again?
Great place. Lovely city.